Hello guys, Colonel Ninny here. For most of us, shooting the enemy down in flames is the ultimate high. It's a personal and tactical victory. But tactical victories like this do not win campaigns or wars, which is achieved by the commander's overall strategy. Tactics are employed to ensure that the overall strategy succeeds. Shooting down this single fighter is of minimal importance. If, on some other part of the battlefield, a horde of enemy bombers flies unchallenged to destroy your ability to make war. That's the big picture, and it's all about air superiority. Air superiority is the single most important factor in deciding the outcome of a modern conventional war. Military operations on land, sea, or in the air are extremely difficult, if not impossible, for the side that doesn't control the sky. There's a difference between air superiority and air supremacy. Air superiority is defined as being able to conduct air operations without prohibitive interference by the opposing force, whereas air supremacy renders the opposing force incapable of effective interference. During the Battle of Britain, the Royal Air Force was outnumbered 3 or 4 to 1 by the Luftwaffe, but through having a better strategy they were able to achieve air superiority and prevent the invasion of England. So to achieve this, what do we have to do in-game? It means having a commander who sets the strategy to allow us to use our tactics to achieve those goals. At the moment, tactical air war is probably the best IL-2 platform, which stresses strategy, not tactics, to win the campaigns. There are those that feel that tactical air war favors the Russians, but in my experience, it's the side that has the air superiority that's more likely to be the victor. Flying here on the Russian side, we have complete superiority over the enemy. We haven't seen a single enemy fighter in 3 missions. Once the flak is destroyed, we are free to completely annihilate the target and move the front line forward. But why are the Russians completely unopposed at a target like this? Having the numerical advantage, in this case 16 versus 6, allows the Russians to be on the offensive because they can have both fighters and bombers. And tactically, the Germans are put on the defensive and should only be using fighters. The only German strategy here is to work in pairs or groups, to choose to defend specific locations, and to make the bombers their priority targets, until such time as you can have the numerical advantage so that you can then take out the fighters first. My experience on the German side was that nobody was talking to anybody else and everyone was really doing their own thing, which was a complete contrast to what we were able to achieve on the Russian team, which is sadly the norm on most other servers, but you can't do that on tactical air war. So there's an added and unnecessary frustration for the German players. And this has a snowballing effect because when pilots come on the server they don't want to join their team. Because we all work very hard at trying to keep our pilot alive and increase his experience. We all accept a certain amount of risk, but when the odds are generally 3 to 1 against us, our days are numbered. But in real life you would not have had that choice. If you were a German pilot on the Eastern Front, you had to go to work every day, regardless of the odds against you. We have 7 Peshkas taking off on a mission, and we don't even need fighter escort because we have air superiority. Oh sure, we could run into a lone bandit out there somewhere, but the odds are it's not going to happen. Our target today is a defensive fortification. So let's talk about the safety in numbers thing. Let's assume that it takes 6 bomb loads to destroy a particular target. If the target had 2 anti-aircraft guns and you took a single aircraft each time, your chances of being shot down would be 2 to 1 on each and every flight. If you took 6 aircraft on one attack, the defenses would be split up and your chances of being shot down would be considerably less. Ideally, I would like to drop each one of my bombs on a separate target on 4 different bomb runs. This would give me the best chances of success. But unless those 2 anti-aircraft positions are neutralized, I will have to drop all 4 bombs at once. It's not a good idea to circle around for a second bomb run if they're still active. As our flight leader rolls in for the attack, I'm hoping to drop my first bomb on the first anti-aircraft position and then the other 3 to string along the complex. Good hits, and the anti-aircraft emplacement is down. We only lost 1 aircraft on this mission, not to anti-aircraft fire. He flew too low over the target while the bombs were detonating. But, more importantly, from a strategic standpoint, the target was completely destroyed. Well, comrades, it's vodka time. Well guys, thank you for watching. If you are on a team with fewer players, you have to figure out a way to communicate with them. Your very survival depends on it. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, found it helpful, please like it or subscribe. Or if there's another topic you'd like me to cover, please